first pitch strike, zinged in by Krings. Sacco, a first-year transfer from Louisiana Tech. One of a handful of brand new faces in the starting lineup for Mississippi State, which also includes 3 freshmen.
Just a person with a lot of speed in that leadoff spot for Mississippi State. Mississippi State in the past has not been known for their speed, more of a power home run hitting offense, but adding the element of speed with Sierra Sacco at the top, setting the tone, and draws a lot of walks, high on base percentage. Very good eye at the plate. She's such a tough hitter for a pitcher to face right out the gate.
Coming into the weekend, leads the SEC with 39 walks and is 3rd in the conference with 19 stolen bases. The 2-2 from Krings. Sacco to second. Gallagher zips it to first. 1 down.
For Missouri, we're going to be paying attention to their defense, something that Missouri has been known for, is being up at the top of the SEC and fielding
Nadia Barbary, the righty, takes ball 1. To your point, this is a Missouri team coming off a series at Georgia in which they played very cleanly, 1 game 1. And then the doubleheader at the end of the weekend sort of took its toll on this team, particularly defensively. And we saw the breakdowns in costly fashion. 3 errors in 1 game against Georgia, and all of them led to runs.
And they had to play a doubleheader in that series as well. And Coach Anderson said that doubleheader was tough on us. And doubleheaders are tough, but especially when you don't feel like you're playing your best and you have to play 2 games in that one day, it can eat you up.
Barbary shoots it into right field, and there is Kaylee Langer, 2 down. Well, Lauren Krings coming off 4 innings, 4 strikeouts, a hit, and no runs against Georgia, and it was a get-right weekend for Lauren Krings. Larissa Anderson telling us she really elevated her game in the circle last weekend in Athens. And in steps Madison Kennedy with 2 down and the base is clear. Has been one of the most dangerous hitters in the conference, and I know you feel, Amanda, that she's a legit candidate for SEC Player of the Year.
Yeah, because when you look at SEC Player of the Year, you're looking at not just the overall numbers where she's hit 15 home runs and has 52 RBI, but you're looking at those SEC play-specific numbers.
Line drive into left, right into the glove of a sliding Shantice Phillips.
Both sides of the plate, so a backdoor and also just a regular curve that slices across the plate.
Taking on Jenna Laird here at the top of the lineup for the Tigers. And Laird leads off a Missouri lineup with 5 players batting at least 300 overall this season. They have been dangerous in their own right. Maybe not the same number of home runs, but Amanda have applied pressure in other ways. And when you look at this Missouri team with 3 SEC series wins, all at home, I might add, a couple of those against a really good LSU team, and then Florida, who has been terrific this season. The 0-2 from Wesley. Rings her up on the inside corner, and Laird goes down on 3 straight strikes to start the game for Aspen Wesley.
Aspen Wesley not scared to paint the inside corner to Laird. Went to her curveball 3 different times in this at bat. Gets her looking. Jenna Laird maybe expecting something out, and Taryn Mowat, the pitching coach from Mississippi State, calls something in, but definitely surprised her to strike her out looking.
A strike to Alex Honnold.
That's it. That is the off-speed curveball that she just threw. It is spinny. It changes speeds. She uses it like a changeup. She also has a changeup that she'll throw every now and then, but that off-speed curveball is going to give these Missouri hitters fits all night.
Well, Missouri head coach Larissa Anderson, as that catches a piece of Honold, and she'll head up to first. Boy, didn't look like it from up here, but Honold went right up to first base without hesitation.
Number 1, the second baseman, here's Maddie Gallagher.
Yeah, just a little bit. To me, though, that hit her in the river. And if the ball is in the river, you have to make an attempt to get out of the way. So I'm not a fan of that hit by pitch call right there at all. I think that she should still be in the box.
Maddie Gallagher with a runner on and one down. The plate umpire tonight is Emerson Addison. In the air, left side, and it's a fair ball. Drops in for a base hit. And back-to-back runners aboard with one down for Missouri.
This is just a classic example of hit it where they ain't. You can see Briley St. Clair, the left fielder, playing well deep, respecting the power of Gallagher, and then just off the end of her bat, she just places it perfectly in left field, and now 2 on for Missouri after that hit by pitch.
Gallagher hitting a career-high .304 this season, passes the bat to Abby Hay in the cleanoff spot. And what a story she has been, the freshman from right here in Columbia. Looks at strike one. Batting .423 in 26 SEC at bats. Has started the last 14 games now at first base as the freshman Abby Hay. And as Larissa Anderson has made minute changes to the lineup in the batting order, Hay finding herself in the cleanup spot where she has done great damage for this Missouri offense. Coming off Player of the Week honors given to her on Tuesday. 2-1, line into left field. Down for a base hit. Here comes Honold. It's bobbled and left by Briley St. Clair. Both runners will score as Hay is in safely at third. 2-0 Tigers.
The freshman looking to hit in a hitter's count. If you're in that 4 spot, the cleanup hitter after seniors reach in front of you, you want to be the one that comes up and cleans the bases. You're in that spot for a reason. This pitch was out over the plate. She barrels it up, and then unfortunately for Mississippi State, Briley St. Clair, that ball gets by her. An uncharacteristic mistake of Briley St. Clair, who last year was the starting center fielder, moves over to left field, and I know she's kicking herself for that, but how quickly did this inning get out of hand for Mississippi State with that hit by pitch that, in my opinion, should not have even been a hit by pitch? Then Gallagher gets a seeing-eye single, and then boom, the freshman puts 2 runs on the board.
Abby Hay now with 9 runs batted in. And we will see if they'll count the second one as an RBI or if an error will be assessed to Briley St. Clair. But nonetheless, Hay at third. A 2-0 lead for the Tigers, and Stefania Abrascato digs in.
It's wild, Matt, the momentum changes that you can feel within a game, within a season, and our sport, and even just within an inning. Do you remember how this inning started? Jenna Laird struck out looking on, I believe, on 3 pitches.
Yeah.
She went right at her. That hit by pitch changed everything in this inning.
And it was interesting. Larissa Anderson told us she wondered how her hitters would respond to more off speed, more movement from this Mississippi State pitching staff than what the Tigers have been accustomed to this season. And they've quickly made the adjustment. Fly ball to right field, caught by Cook, and Hay will get back to third on a throw that moved Ella Wesolowski up the line. 2 down.
I like where Abby Hay's head was at to try to draw the throw and put more pressure on Paige Cook out in right field. She went back to tag, Abby Hay did, and then took 5 to 6 hard steps as if she was going to try to score. And the whole point of that is you watch her go back, tag, is to try to put pressure on Paige Cook to commit an error and have that throw get past Wesolowski. Just a freshman, not playing like a freshman in SEC play in a lot of different ways here this year.
Kara Daly with a 1-0 count. Missouri this year 16-1 when scoring first. And again, all 3 of their SEC series wins have been here at home at Mizzou Softball Stadium in Columbia.
I love playing here in this beautiful stadium in front of great crowds that they've drawn this season. They've set records. One of the best stadiums in the country is right here in Columbia.
Daly, right back, snared by Wesley, and that will end season.
I was happy to see the Georgia seniors perform on senior weekend.
Fly ball to right field. Kaylee Langer coming on. Jessie Blaine, 1 pitch, 1 out. And 4 straight retired to start the game for Lauren Krings.
Yeah, a bunch of home runs for Georgia today. Kuma hit a home run. She hadn't hit a home run in a month, they had said on air. And then Jada Kearney homered. Mosley hit 2. And Jaden Fields homered as well. Just the ball flying out of the ballpark. A lot of runs scored. That 11-6 win against Florida.
Here is Ella Wesolowski. Looks at the first pitch inside. You know, that Georgia team, Amanda, we've had the pleasure of seeing a couple of times. And the narrative outside the program has been, well, Georgia hasn't lived up to the expectation. Remember, they were picked 2nd in the SEC behind Tennessee. Right now, they are in 5th. On a ground ball up the middle, snared by Laird, it's short, and picked out of the air by Abby Hay, 2 down. What a start to the game by Abby Hay. Drives in 2 runs, then snow cones the throw from Laird.
Yeah, good range by Laird, the Gold Glover, but look right there. It looked like it was going to come out of her glove, just spin on the throw, or just the velocity of the throw was going to take it off the tip of the glove, but Abby Hay being able to hang on to it, but it was a snow cone for just a hot second there.
2 down for Paige Cook. There is Laird, and another 1-2-3 inning for Lauren Krings. She
saying that she really felt like we really felt like we underachieved big time, and also that a lot of selfishness set in, and the locker room wasn't great. So that's why they had such a big focus in the fall and entering the season on a team first mentality, getting everybody back, flying together toward the same goal, not worrying about individual results as much as you're worried about what the team is doing.
2-0 lead for her Tigers here in the bottom of the 2nd in a top 20 series against Mississippi State.
And even that team first mentality is reflected at their practices, centered around situational hitting and executing and what your at bat means for the greater good of the team. So focusing on that team first mentality in all aspects of their game and preaching it constantly at practice.
The 1-2 to Julia Crenshaw is fought off and fouled. It was interesting along those same lines. You know, we had a chance as Crenshaw will head up to first base.
Yeah, I think that might have been
The left fielder, number 28.
Wesolowski's glove potentially coming in contact with the swing. Yep. And Crenshaw pointed back right away. hard to tell to me there that there was contact made, but
Amaris Addison has now had 2 really close calls at home plate. Of course, that hit by pitch, which sprung Missouri's 2-run first inning, looked a little controversial. And then that catcher interference. And a bunt dropped down by Phillips. 1 down as Crenshaw will move into scoring position.
Yeah, and that's a prime example right there, Matt, of execution. Phillips, being a senior, wasting no time in a bunt situation, squaring around, laying the bunt down perfectly to be able to move Crenshaw into scoring position. I mean, that's what you want to see, getting the top of that ball that has rise ball spin to it, making sure that she gets the top so that it gets on the ground and doesn't pop up. Good execution, exactly what we were just talking about.
Here is Kaylee Langer in the 9 spot. And to your point on the team mentality, even though none of the stats really pop out offensively to Larissa Anderson, she said what does pop out is that there's a sense of how does my at bat affect the greater part of the game from 1 through 9. That is the mentality that her Tigers have had this year.
That mentality can take teams a long way when you're playing together as one team and not feeling like just a bunch of individuals going out there wearing the same uniform. I mean, it's a total different feel and mindset in the dugout, in the box, out on defense, in all parts of the game.
0-2 will ring up Langer on the inside corner, 2 down.
Just a well-spotted pitch here by Aspen Wesley. It's that curveball, excuse me, it's that rise ball actually. It ends up at the knees, but it has backward rotation and it just freezes Langer. Big second out there.
Back to the top of the order for Jenna Laird, who struck out looking on 3 pitches in her first at bat. And we thought, wow, what a way to start the game for Mississippi State and Aspen Wesley. And then the hit by pitch to Alex Honnold. And then a single by Gallagher just dropping in, and that sort of started the wheels in motion for the Tigers, finding ways to manufacture runs, as they have all year. And it just seems, Amanda, that this team is better in the bigger moments. Jenna Laird's numbers say it all, batting .400 with runners in scoring position this year.
Well, both of these teams are so similar in that I think that they play better against better competition. They love challenges, and I don't know, you might not have said that about both of these teams last year with the way that they underperformed, underachieved, finishing last place and in 12th place, so second to last place in SEC. These teams today or this year love the challenge.
While Missouri has won all 3 of their SEC series at home, Mississippi State has won all 3 of their SEC series on the road. So something has to give here this weekend in a top 20 showdown. The 3-1 from Wesley. Flare into center and caught by Sierra Sacco, which ends the inning. So first at bat for Kylie Edwards.
You know, for Missouri, we said it was that team first mentality that they figured out that this season they needed. But Coach Samantha Ricketts, the head coach for Mississippi State, said that it was more just about ongoing discussions about the standard of their program and how they were going to hold themselves to the expectation of holding themselves to that high standard of Mississippi State play. That's what their conversations have been about with their team and with their upperclassmen, who she said have kind of paved the way this season, been great leaders in whatever role that they've had this season, even if it might be a different role than what they've had earlier in their career.
Already 11 wins against the AP Top 25. That is a program record. 15 run rule victories. also a program record. And we noted it earlier in the game, Amanda, but what Samantha Ricketts has been able to do with this offense this year is she's taken more of the reins of coaching the offense in practice. One of the tops, not only in the SEC, but the country, as Edwards looks at ball two.
Well, she's a really good hitting coach, and she was a hitting coach under Vance Studeman as the head coach before Samantha Ricketts became the head coach, and she thrived in that role and has helped Mississippi State set a bunch of different offensive records since she's been on staff, and either as an assistant or as a head.
Slow roller to Laird on the run, and it will not get there in time. Edwards, the first base runner aboard today for Mississippi State.
Second base, number 47, and Salem Hawkins.
And if you look at these numbers compared to last year, it is night and day. And a big part of that, according to Samantha Ricketts, is that last year their batting cages and their indoor facility were both under construction. This year they are ready and they are gorgeous, and they have used them often, and it has paid dividends.
It's made a big difference. I mean, when it really comes down to it, I mean, the emphasis and investment time and energy and even financial resources with their facilities has been put into their offense. They have the new hitting facility that's open now that they didn't have last year. Sam Ricketts is now being more involved with the hitters and delegating a little bit more to somebody like Alyssa Loza, who is on staff and in charge of a more player development role. And then also the data and technology that they have inside of the facility where they're tracking and competing and monitoring, and also monitoring their bodies throughout every week. So when you think about everything.
Saylin Edwards bounces it off the glove of Kara Daly, but it was called foul.
When you think about everything that's been put into their offense, it becomes a little bit more clear why they've seen such a big jump, essentially going from last in a lot of offensive categories in SEC play to first or second. It's them in Florida as the top offenses in the SEC this season.
0-2 to Saylin Hawkins. Line drive into left field. Shantice Phillips makes out number one. Batting .287 in SEC play. That is tops in the league.
Number 12, the left fielder.
But in April, we've seen a dip from this Mississippi State team offensively. We talked about their two midweek losses to Samford and South Alabama. And Samantha Ricketts told us her team starting to feel the pressures of being in the top 20, the possibility of hosting a regional. As Briley St. Clair drops down a bunt. In from third and making the play in time is Kara Daly, two down. And Edwards moves into scoring position.
Center fielder, 29, Sierra Sacco.
Yeah, February they came out with a bang, hitting close to 340. March did the same thing, but then look at the dip in the batting average in the month of April, down by about 50 points. And then, I mean, March was an explosive month offensively for them. They hit 25 home runs. Madison Kennedy had 11 home runs in the month of March alone. And then you start to think, oh my gosh, we don't want all this to go away. Is it too good to be true? Is it true that we might be able to host a regional after not even making the tournament last year? You start to feel that pressure, and with every pitch, with every at bat, you start to put more pressure on yourself not to fail instead of believing in yourself and just playing free like they were in February and March.
1-0 to Sierra Sacco as a strike. You mentioned the 25 home runs in March. They had 25 home runs all of last year, Amanda. Remarkable turnaround this year. And as you mentioned, Samantha Ricketts taking more of the reins in the batting cages and in the hitting facility. Look what I found, says Lauren Krings, and gets out of the jam, stranding Edwards. That's
all of her teammates talking about her for senior weekend. The one word that was said over and over and over again was humble about Alex Honnold. And then the one phrase was, when she goes, we go. And what happened? in the bottom of the first inning. She got hit by a pitch, and that started a little rally for Mizzou when they scored those 2 runs and got out early.
Sixth in the SEC in hits this season, leads the SEC, and is second in the country in doubles. 0-2 from Wesley. Man, time called at home.
Like that may have been an umpire-initiated one. Looks like maybe he has something in his eye. He's grabbing his mask a bit.
That time of year here in central Missouri. Wind blowing around, pollen with it. The 1-2 from Wesley is spoiled by Honold. And Larissa Anderson said that with Alex Honold, she told her at the beginning of the year, be really good at 70% of your strengths and spoil the 30% of your weaknesses. And she's done that this year. The 1-2 is a strike on the inside corner. The 3rd strikeout of the game for Aspen Wesley, 1 down.
Yeah, and all 3 of the strikeouts tonight have been looking strikeouts. Curveball on the inside corner. Aspen Wesley is not scared to throw that curveball inside of these left-handed hitters. And it just, to me, doesn't look like they're expecting the inner half at all. It's freezing them.
That time it was Wesley spoiling Honold's at bat. Fly ball into right field, and it just gets out of the reach of Paige Cook. As Maddie Gallagher stands in for her 2nd at bat of the game. And you reference Alex Honold being hit by the pitch back in the 1st inning. Well, then Gallagher came up right behind her with that seeing eye single to sort of extend the run. And then the Tigers taking advantage on a 2-run double by Abby Hay, who stands on deck.
Maddie Gallagher, another senior, another great leader and vocal leader, especially on defense for this Missouri team. Senior leaders on Missouri's team, a lot of experience in SEC play.
Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 down in the 3rd. And the first swinging strikeout of the day for Missouri.
Going to that off-speed curveball, you can see it has backward rotation from it. So a lot of times a drop ball is going to spin over the top to make it go down. A rise ball spin is going to spin the complete opposite way. It spins backward. And she takes a little bit off. That's that spinny off-speed rise ball where she could put it at the knee, she could put it belt high. Sometimes it goes a little bit up, sometimes it stays more flat, but it makes it so tough to time her up and pick it up out of her hand.
Career high 98 strikeouts this season for Aspen Wesley. 3rd year as a starter in the Mississippi State program, 5th year of collegiate softball. And her best, not just with strikeouts, but ERA and a plethora of other categories pitching wise for the Mississippi native. Two-one count, bases cleared, 2 down. And that just missed. Hay showing a good eye, and now a hitter's count for the freshman.
A really good eye. Remember, it was a hitter's count in that 2-1 that she had a single and the RBI, and then of course the error on that play that led to the 2 runs. But looking to hit, but not over aggressive. Oh my goodness, there it is again. It's an off-speed curveball. is so tough because she'll mix her speeds with it too. Sometimes it seems a little bit slower. Sometimes it seems just about 4 or 5 miles an hour off of her hardest stuff.
First full count for Aspen Wesley. She calls time. How do you adjust to that? 'Cause it's not a pitch you see often in this league.
It's not. And also Aspen Wesley with Taryn Mowat as the pitching coach for the first year for Mississippi State is throwing that pitch more than what she had thrown in previous years in her career. It's something that Taryn Mowat told me that she's calling more for her, and it's maybe something that they've worked hard on in the bullpen, or she just likes the spin and the trajectory of it, so wants to use that pitch to set up other pitches and get some more strikeouts. But Taryn Mowat, of course, was an All-American at Arizona, national champion, and former pitching coach at Arizona.
Line drive center field. Abby Hay has back-to-back base hits. And the inning continues with 2 down for Stefania Abriscato.
I mean, the pitches that Abby Hay took in that at-bat and just this all-around at-bat as a freshman did not look like a freshman at all. Pulls her hands in tight to be able to get her barrel to that up and inside pitch. Still squares it up and finds a way to get a hit with 2 strikes.
7 pitches in the at-bat. Hay stands at first. Abriscato at the dish. That was a funky ball coming off the inside part of the bat and foul. 0-1 to Abriscato. You know, it's interesting. You were asking Larissa Anderson this week just about the play at the plate by Abby Hay. And what I thought was so interesting is she told you, Amanda, she's always seeking information with each pitch. And it seemed like she was doing that there against Aspen Wesley. 0-1 is rolled to second, and it goes off the shoulder of Saylin Hawkins. Hay will go first to third. And the inning does continue for the Tigers. Runners at the corners now for Kara Daly.
I mean, Saylin Hawkins is looking over at her dugout right now, just kind of laughing, saying, I don't know what I was supposed to do here, because this hop here, it's a bouncy ball. You can see it, but this hop right there, it's really hard to work on that at practice because it's so unpredictable. Looked like the ball was staying down. It hit that hop, and then it went over the shoulder up near the head of Saylin Hawkins.
Big time ricochet. Remember, it was an error in the first inning in left field that continued the inning for the Tigers. Now a potential error here in the third.
Well, and Matt, you're used to getting those types of hops in travel ball when you're playing in all kinds of different public fields before you get to play in college, but that is a very unexpected hop at a field the level of this Missouri field and a lot of the fields in the SEC. I mean, the playing surface is just immaculate. So all that to say, you're just not expecting a hop like that at all. If you're playing travel ball in the summer, you're expecting hops to go everywhere. But Saylin Hawkins just not expecting that hop.
To your point, the official score has deemed it a base hit, so no error. But runners at the corners. Hay at third, Abriscato at first, 2 down, and Kara Daly at the dish.
Be interesting to see how Mississippi State plays this first and third, and a lot of youth up the middle of the field with Kylie Edwards at short, Saylin Hawkins, who we just mentioned. The middle infield for Mississippi State, they are flashy, but they're also freshmen. They're young. And a freshman back behind the plate, Weslowski. A lot of talented, youthful players up the middle of the field, which is usually where you point to find your athleticism and the strength of your team.
Samantha Ricketts looking on, her team down 2-0 early on the road here in Columbia. The 2-1 from Wesley. High fly ball left field. Back on it is St. Clair, and she will glove NCAA tournament. And Mizzou right now on the inside of that conversation. And they have gotten great pitching to start tonight, Amanda, by Lauren Kring. She has set down 9 of 10 batters faced.
And done it in 28 pitches. I mean, she's rolling. She is efficient, going right at these hitters and getting quick outs. I'll change up there. It's that pitch that we mentioned that is her best swing and miss pitch, is that changeup when you look at her numbers and her whiff percentage.
The 1-1 to Nadia Barbary. Only hit that Mississippi State has produced was an infield single. Krings has kept them off balance. An offense that, as you referenced earlier in the game, has led the SEC in a number of categories since conference play began. But in April, it's been a bit of a different story. Mississippi State trying to get the monkey off their backs this weekend in Columbia. And that one just got a piece of Barbary's bat.
Well, and I think that we've seen these offenses go into some lulls, not just Mississippi State this year, but other offenses in the SEC. Just, you're not the only team that you know is human and is going to make mistakes at the plate and go through a period, whether it's 2 weeks, 3.
Barbary goes down. What a pitch by Krings. Her first strikeout of the evening, 1 down.
She gets on top of this drop ball. Look at this movement. Actually, a little bit more of a changeup that it has drop ball movement to it. Able to throw that changeup more flat through the zone and then get Barbary to swing and miss at it like an off-speed drop. That pitch just had some crazy down movement to it.
And now Madison Kennedy, second time at the plate. Welcome to Columbia, Missouri. Those of you joining us on SEC Network after a wild finish between South Carolina and Kentucky on the baseball diamond. Here a top 20 showdown on the softball diamond between two teams in the middle of the SEC standings, both gunning for national seeding in the NCAA tournament. Matt Schumacher, Amanda Scarborough with you. Lauren Krings in the circle for Missouri has set down 10 of 11 batters faced. And the Tigers taking advantage of the ability to manufacture runs early in this game, Amanda, not unlike what we've seen them do really all year.
It always feels good to score first and put pressure on the other team, especially at home. And the fans get to join us on the network for a potential SEC Player of the Year candidate right away. I mean, we're just not even messing around when we join the network. We have Madison Kennedy up to bat, who has potential to hit the long ball. I mean, with how special of a season that she's had, and she's had decent offensive years, but in the past, before she was a senior, more so known for her defense. But the home runs and RBI producing this year has just been something special.
Her 15 home runs this year, a career high, more than she hit in the last 2 years combined, has exploded at the plate for Mississippi State, who has one of the best offenses in the SEC. Payoff from Krings. First full count from Lauren Krings today. Came into the 4th inning having retired 9 of 10 on just 28 pitches. Uber efficient in game 1 of this 3-game set. The 3-2 to Kennedy. And just the second batter aboard this evening for Mississippi State. It's a walk with 1 down. It is the freshman and reigning SEC Player of the Week, Abby Hay, who has been the difference maker offensively in this game.
She's not played like a freshman in this game with that swing, and then her next at bat where she also got a hit. Aspen Wesley getting the start for Mississippi State has looked strong. Missouri, though, in that first inning, using that hit by pitch to get things going.
Aspen Wesley, the starter for Mississippi State. 4 strikeouts, started the game with a 3-pitch strikeout, all of them looking to Jenna Laird, the leadoff hitter from Missouri. And we thought, wow, we might be in for a pitcher's duel here. But Mizzou just has found ways to manufacture runs. Strikeout number 2, it's Jesse Blaine. And 2 outs in the inning for Lauren Krings.
Well, Mississippi State just has not been able to generate anything against Lauren Krings with the way that she's been throwing tonight. The second time through the order here in the 4th inning, mixing her changeup, which you just saw there for the strikeout, a lot more, and also her drop ball, giving a different look this second time through, where not as much upspin, more downspin in her change, and it's making it hard for the Bulldogs.
And now the freshman, Ella Wesolowski, at the plate. One of 3 freshmen in the starting lineup for Mississippi State. And one of 5 brand new players this year, including a pair of transfers. It is a Mississippi State team that has had a monumental turnaround. Missed the NCAA tournament last year for the first time since 2016. And their head coach, Samantha Ricketts, said they were even more intentional this year in the transfer portal and in giving the freshmen opportunities to make an impact, as Wesolowski launches this foul. Put that 15 feet to the right. We're tied at 2.
That's right. It's one of the best swings that we've seen by Mississippi State off of Krings in this game, for sure, despite it even being a foul ball.
It's a big series for Mississippi State this weekend. They've gone 2 weeks without playing an SEC game, but are coming off back-to-back midweek losses to non-conference opponents. 2-1 does get away from Crenshaw. Kennedy takes advantage, moving from first to second rather. It's been one area that Mississippi State has really excelled this year. 2-out hitting. They're batting .318, which is second best. One count to the freshman Ella Wesolowski. And another laser foul out of the ballpark. 3-2. Should she get on, Paige Cook awaits on deck.
It's a freshman that has had a big impact on this team. Wesolowski back behind the plate and at the plate in the box. Almost 400 with runners in scoring position.
3-2 strikeout. 3 in the inning for Lauren Krings, and gets out of the jam. Mississippi State, Larissa Anderson is with us. Coach, appreciate your time. Your starting pitcher tonight, Lauren Krings, has allowed just 1 hit in 4 innings and just 2 base runners. Coach, struck out 3 in the last inning. What have you liked from her so far?
Commanding both sides of the plate, really keeping them off balance with that changeup. That's pretty much what she needs in order to be able to control an at-bat. But I just like the fact that she's being able to throw both sides of the plate convincingly right now.
Coach, with Abby Hay just being a freshman, doesn't play like a freshman. What's it like to watch her process her at-bats, and what do you think is going through her mind in those moments?
You know, I wish I could get inside that mind, because, I mean, some of the stuff that she does is very, very impressive. Next level, almost like she's a veteran player. She's just been around the game her entire life, and it's just neat to see her make those in-game adjustments.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Thanks
Good
for
luck
being
the
here.
rest of the way.
MIZ.
I think maybe she wanted me to say ZOU at the end of that.
Even when I'm watching Missouri games, I want to say ZOU when I'm not calling them. And I'm not even a Missouri person, but it just kind of makes you want to finish it, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Get you feeling a little rah-rah. Another great crowd on hand tonight. Missouri has already set program records twice this year for single game attendance and series attendance. And their 3 SEC series wins have come right here in this ballpark. Julia Crenshaw leads it off for Missouri here in the bottom of the 4th. They lead it 2-0 against Aspen Wesley.
You know, Aspen Wesley in this game has had traffic. Whenever she has been in the circle, Mississippi State has been out on defense, but I think actually she's pitched better with her back against the wall. Every inning, there's been runners in scoring position, at least one. Able to find ways to get outs.
It's a Missouri offense with 5 starters batting 300 or better overall this year. And while their home run numbers are down from 51 last year to 32 this year, they have found ways to apply pressure all season. Fly ball, foul territory, and it gets into the Mississippi State dugout, out of the reach of Madison Kennedy at first base.
See Madison Kennedy over there at first base. She was a shortstop all throughout her career. A senior now, moved over to first base because of the talented freshman of Kylie Edwards, who now is at shortstop. And I mean, so many new faces on this Mississippi State team with freshmen and transfers. It's given them a different look, a different feel.
And the 5th strikeout of the game for Aspen Wesley, 1 away in the 4th. And 4 of her 5 strikeouts, Amanda, have been looking.
That's right. Taryn Mowat and her are setting up these hitters. This is a rise ball right at the knees. Absolutely freezes Crenshaw. She has so much spin on her pitches, Aspen Wesley does. And with new pitching coach Taryn Mowat, Sam Ricketts, the head coach at Mississippi State, told us that Aspen Wesley seems to have taken to Taryn Mowat so well, seen so much improvement, especially mentally. And I mean, wouldn't you want to work with the national champion who was Women's College World Series MVP, won ESPYs?
Line drive right field, diving play and right by Paige Cook. Hello, 2 down in the 4th.
So difficult to read this line drive for Paige Cook, and if it was going to continue to just fall down, if it was going to stay up, I think maybe she could have stayed on her feet and caught this one, but we'll go for the dive and catching it just like that. I mean, either way, it's an out. It's an important second out for Mississippi State, trying to get a 3-up, 3-down inning.
Base is clear for Kaylee Langer. That one looked like it was coming right at her. Fought it off with a swing.
Sometimes you do that. You see it coming at you, and your just initial instinct is just swing to get it out of there. Heads up over there in the dugout.
Well, you got a bat. You may as well use it.
Yeah. Might as well keep that pitch off of you.
And even with the screen, the Missouri dugout was scattering out of the way.
I think there was probably a little bit of a flinch there.
A little bit.
Little bit. He's not expecting it. I would definitely be the one that was down below the net or behind the net. I wouldn't be like some of these players that are like a
hanging
half body.
over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the line of fire down there.
There's 2 camps. You're either half out and exposed, or you're 100% not exposed behind the net. You're either one or the other. I guess there's a couple or just a head out.
First 1, 2, 3 inning of the game for Aspen. Talking about it earlier, Amanda, they've held the SEC tournament here. You called that a handful of years ago. And just an amazing atmosphere and a gorgeous field. And congratulations to Jerry on 30 years serving the Missouri Athletic Department.
You have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of turf and teams to take care of at practice and in games. And
this one gets over the head of Alex Honold, and the first really well-hit ball of the night for Mississippi State comes in the second at bat for Paige Cook.
And Paige Cook, the senior, swinging early in the count and looks like looking for that inside pitch. Steps open, gets her barrel there, and she strikes that ball hard. So hard that Even though it got to the wall, you would have thought maybe it would have been for extra bases. Instead, Paige Cook ends up with a single. So she had that catch out in right field. And then it starts out the inning with a single after Samantha Ricketts pulled her team aside in between innings and looked like had a pretty good talk with them about their offensive plan.
Well, the tying run comes to the plate with Jaden Burney now pinch running for Paige Cook. Kylie Edwards at the dish. It's a Mississippi State team that until that base knock had just one base hit tonight. That was an infield single back in the third.
Well, and look, they struck out 3 times last half inning. And so for Paige Cook, the senior, to not only have that catch out in right field where she made a great defensive play, but then to lead off the inning with a single and strike the ball like that, that sends a message to your team like, hey guys, we got to get back in this right now.
Edwards right back up the middle, snared for one. There is 2. No! Wow! First base umpire Lyndon Baptiste said the ball did not get to first in time on the exchange.
What a catch by Lauren Krings to go up and get that. Potentially would have been a middle infielder's ball anyway, but what a great play by her, and then good throw to Kylie Edwards took, by the way. That last stride to the bag was like 10 feet long.
After review, the call is upheld. She is safe.
So, after just one base hit through the first 4 innings for Mississippi State, they have back-to-back to start the 5th, and the tying run is aboard. I beg your pardon, that is the first base hit. Yes, back-to-back base hits in the 5th, and they did get the lead runner, Jaden Burney. So there is one down, and the tying run back at the plate in the form of Saylin Hawkins.
That changeup that Coach Anderson was mentioning in our interview. We talked to her about the importance of that pitch for Lauren Krings and how efficient that she's been in this game. Just 52 pitches that she's thrown here in the top of the 5th inning. And this is a Missouri pitching staff that Coach Anderson, as the pitching coach and the head coach, likes to use their complete pitching staff. She is pretty quick to make pitching changes, and as soon as the team starts to get timed up or what she sees starts to square up the ball a little bit better, they're quick to go to a middle relief or pull in the closer. Use a complete pitching staff, just like a baseball pitching staff.
0-2 to Saylin Hawkins. Fights it off. Well, it tracks, right, for Larissa Anderson, whose husband, Patrick, has spent more than 2 decades as a professional baseball coach, currently the manager of the Peoria Chiefs, High A affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals. Oh-2. Krings gets a strikeout upstairs and a snap throw to Abby Hay. Not in time, but nonetheless 2 down here in the 5th.
I like the idea of expanding the zone up in the zone with the rise ball like this and just seeing if the freshman can hold back. She can't, maybe guessing a little bit with 2 strikes, thinking that Krings is going to come more with her changeup or her curveball down the zone. Great time to expand the zone with that rise ball to get the second out of the inning.
4 strikeouts now for Krings, all of them coming in either the 4th or 5th innings. Second time through the order, and now Briley St. Clair will be pinch hit for in the 9 spot. Aquana Brownlee, the tying run at the plate in the top of the 5th. It has been tough sledding offensively for Mississippi State tonight, but they have been terrific in 2-out situations this year.
It's another player that, in Aquana Brownlee, that Coach Ricketts attributed to being one of those upperclassmen, helping change the tides this season and the mindset of the team, raising the standard of Mississippi State softball. Having a different role this year. I'm sure maybe not playing as much as she would individually want or like, but in a different role because of all the talented players that they brought in. And Brownlee has just relished being a leader as a senior and stepping up big time in different ways for this team, along with Madison Kennedy.
Take strike 2.
And when she's gotten her opportunities, she's been ready. She stepped up off the bench, and 421 batting average with 2 outs. Super impressive.
Second best 2-out hitting team in the SEC. Brownlee looks at strike 3, the 5th of the game for Lauren Krings, and pitches around 2 base hits to start. Appreciate your time. Going into that last round of at-bats, you pulled your team aside and delivered a message. Care to share that with us?
Yeah, we're just, trying to just stay within ourselves and keep executing the plan. And part of the beauty of this game is as we come in with one plan, you have to adjust to what they're going to do and adjust on their side as well. And I think their pitchers, they're doing a great job adjusting, and we have to be able to adjust right back and really stay locked in and not make the moment too big for ourselves right now.
Coach, you've seen Aspen Wesley through a lot of innings this season. What do you like about her outing so far today?
I think she's doing a great job of mixing pitches, hitting her spots, not afraid to go inside on their big hitters, and just so composed. I think she's such a competitor for us and just really gives us a lot of confidence when she's on the mound.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Thank you. Hail State.
Wesley has produced 6 strikeouts. And Jaden Burney, who came in to pinch run last inning at the plate, now in right field. As we get set to start the bottom of the 5th. Aspen Wesley back in the circle, taking on Jenna Laird, who has hit .400 for her career against Mississippi State.
You heard Coach Ricketts say they're adjusting, we're adjusting, and Aspen Wesley, the first time through the order, just had 2 strikeouts. Second time through the order, 4 strikeouts. And then similar for Lauren Krings on the other side. Krings, no strikeouts first time through, 5 strikeouts second time through.
Laird right back up the middle, and a leadoff base knock for the starting shortstop for Missouri in her final regular season home series as a Tiger.
Yeah, Coach Anderson said of Jenna Laird at a young age when she was a freshman that Jenna Laird just has the it factor, and called her the future of the program. The future of the program is now a senior. Somehow, where does time go? Had a tremendous career at Mizzou.
Gives way to Alex Honnold. Another senior from West Des Moines, Iowa.
Pretty big shift on for Honnold, where you see Kylie Edwards, the shortstop, playing up the middle of the field, and then Nadia Barbary playing in front of the third base bag down the line. See how they pitch Honnold, and as Coach Ricketts talked about, Aspen Wesley not scared to go inside to their bigger hitters, and that's a prime example right there with the curveball to Honnold. She did the same thing to Jenna Laird earlier in the game, using that curveball to paint the corner on the inner half.
Honnold has been the 5th toughest strikeout in the SEC this year, but has already struck out once against Wesley tonight. Drops down a bunt. It is fielded at third by Barbary. No play at first, and the throw across the diamond is not in time as Laird goes first to third on a bunt single.
I mean, Jenna Laird is just not even going to stop. Look at the base running when she gets to second base, notices nobody is at third base, understands her speed, the flow and internal clock that she has, not only on defense, but with her base running too.
After review, the ruling on the field has changed to safe.
There you go.
So it is a bunt single for Alex Honnold, sending Laird to third. Runners at the corners for Maddie Gallagher and Amanda, the 3-4-5 hitters. Gallagher, Hay, Abra for Missouri. Career high 304 at the plate. And swings through the off speed from Wesley. And as you alluded to earlier on tonight, has always been somebody throughout her career that has been a terrific defender. Could be a Gold Glove winner this year, but her offense has come on in particular in her second year at Missouri. Pops it right up to Wesley and hesitated throwing it back to first. Honnold in time, sliding back to the bag.
We're just talking about how good Missouri has been at executing bunt plays in this game and popping up that one, and that's because of that Aspen Wesley rise ball that she will spin. Has backward rotation and it moves a little bit up, and when you throw a rise ball like that in a bunt situation, oftentimes the bat is going to get the bottom of the ball and pop out like that.
1 out, runners at the corners for the reigning SEC Player of the Week. Abby Hay already 2 for 2 tonight and responsible for driving in the pair of runs that are on the board for Missouri. Runner takes off, no throw from the freshman Ella Wesolowski, and Honnold in safely at second base.
Abby Hay is just so patient at the plate. Played baseball her entire life until 10th grade. Her dad played baseball at Mizzou.
And has a big moment here with 2 in scoring position. Lays off the outside pitch, 2-2.
You can see them go to that curveball over and over and over again to Abby Hay. Aspen Wesley just trying to hit a pinpoint spot on the outside corner, right at the knees.
Hay takes the 2-2, backhanded at second base by Hawkins. Throw to home is not in time. 3-0 Tigers.
It's a big run late in this game, and Abby Hay just got pitched outside, curve, 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 over and over and over again. And with 2 strikes, this is all she needed to do. Ground ball to second base with the speed of somebody like Jenna Laird at third is going to score a run all day long. Another good job, good at bat with 2 strikes. Abby Hay pushing across another run. As you said in last week's SEC Player of the Week as a freshman.
Responsible for driving in all 3 Missouri runs and replaced at first by Claire Cahalan. Still just 1 out, runners at the corners. And Stefania Abrascato at the plate. Has singled in the game. Runner takes off. That is Cahalan without a throw. And so how about this? Larissa Anderson, who told us she's been fearful to steal this year because of the runner leaving early and the emphasis on that rule this season, has now stolen 2 bags in the inning. High pop up right side of the infield. It's Saylin Hawkins. 2 down.
I mentioned that Missouri had over 100 stolen bases last year, and coming into this game, not even 50. And we asked Larissa Anderson why that was, and it's the rule change. The fact that now you can review runner leaving early on a steal, she felt like has caused not only her team, but a lot of other teams across the country to steal less, knowing that that play can be reviewed. That's not something that had happened in years past with video review. That was a rule change this year. And I mean, she's not the only coach that I've talked to that really that really feels like it has affected the running game for teams all over the country.
Katie Chester pinch hitting for Kara Daly here. 2 in scoring position and 2 down. Missouri with a 3-run lead on a top 20 Mississippi State club. And Missouri right now 9th in the RPI. And while that's not the only thing the selection committee will take into consideration at the end of conference tournaments, it is a large portion, and they have their sights set on hosting a super regional, which would require them to be a top 8 team at the end of the conference tournament.
Those that grab the top 8 national seed end up being able to not only host a regional, but also a super regional. Missouri looking like they're going to be on the bubble. And so trying to do everything that they can this weekend, next weekend, and at the SEC tournament to win as much as possible to try to raise that RPI a little bit more. RPI is not the only factor that the committee is going to look at. There are a host of factors, as well as big wins, big losses that you've had, your strength of schedule for overall, and also your non-conference strength of schedule. A lot goes into it, but Missouri this year has put themselves in a position to fight for
Chester into left field and foul.
for one of those top 8 spots.
They were bounced last year out of the regional, and at the end of the season, during exit interviews, felt like they disappointed themselves. Got together, decided they wanted to change the culture this year, make it more team-oriented, as you see some of the other factors that go into seeding for the NCAA tournament. The 1-2.
And you see end of season results playing a part of being the selection criteria too, not just for the at-large bids to get into the tournament, but also for the seeding process when you're comparing who's going to be a top 8, who's going to be a top 16. It's so big to grab one of those top 16 national seeds.
Chester goes down on strikes, and Aspen West.
I'm ready for it. I think the softball fans are ready for it too.
Mississippi State is ready to score some runs. They have struggled coming into this game at producing runs in their midweek losses. Amanda to South Alabama and Samford. In their top 5 today, 0 for 9 against Lauren Krings. It is Sierra Sacco at the top of the order. Down 3 in the top of the 6th.
Krings has mixed really well tonight. You can see that with the strikeouts that she's had second time through the order. 5 strikeouts second time through the order. 0 strikeouts first time through against Mississippi State. Just continuing to battle, make adjustments.
And only 62 pitches.
Yeah, been very efficient. Looked like it was going to be strikeout number 6 right there.
One and 2 to Sacco. Corner infield drawing in. Sacco to second. Back to first is Hay, and the flip is in time from Maddie Gallagher.
After review, the call is upheld. We have an out.
So 1 down in the 6th.
I think everybody in the stadium just needs to calm down a little bit. Everybody is allowed to make a mistake here on a mic, and the umpire who is on the mic that communicates with us is no different. So wish that these Missouri fans would just kind of calm down a little bit, and let's support these umpires that are out here working so hard.
A lot on the line this weekend.
A lot.
Nobody on, 1 down for Nadia Barbary. Handcuffed, shoots it into center field, and the first base hit today for a batter between 1 through 5 for Mississippi State.
First base, 18, Madison Kennedy.
Gets her barrel to that pitch up and in. A couple of the hits that Mississippi State has had of their 3 have been in a pitch just like that. A right-handed hitter, pitch up and in. They step open just a little bit to be able to get their barrel to that pitch. Nadia Barbary coming through.
SEC Player of the Year candidate Madison Kennedy. Career high 15 home runs this year. And the tying run on deck in the form of Jessie Blaine. Don't count the Bulldogs out. Down 3 in the top of the 6th. They have been one of the hottest teams in the SEC at the plate. Kennedy to third. The flip is there, and 2 down. A double play to end the inning by this slick Tigers defense. with 35 wins or more, and their 35 wins this year matches the total already that they hit for all of last year. Riley Hull has come in at first base defensively for Madison Kennedy. And Aspen Wesley back in the circle. Her 86th pitch. And she's thrown a really good game. But she's had to pitch against Abby Hay 3 times. And that has been the difference. Abby Hay has accounted for all 3 of Missouri runs. The freshman and reigning SEC Player of the Week.
Just made things happen in this game, taking what she did last weekend against Georgia into this weekend here against Mississippi State.
Julia Crenshaw, hack, down in the count 1-2. Wesley's 1-2. Even with the 7 strikeouts tonight by Aspen Wesley, don't you just feel like Mizzou has put together quality at bats?
Yeah, I do feel that way. And it's been the execution, the situational hitting that stands out to me, with sacrifice bunts and then Abby Hay ground ball to second base with a runner at third base. Just doing the little things right to be able to score those 3 runs against Aspen Wesley, who has thrown well. Taking advantage of some mistakes too. 2 errors on the board for Mississippi State and that hit by pitch. And
a line drive left field, and it will get past Briley St. Clair, but a foul ball. Chelsea Clark at third base, waving it foul. And we may have a review here.
What an effort by Briley St. Clair. Ooh, it looked like that may have hit the line, but Briley St. Clair, knowing where she's at on the field, out by the fence, and knowing that she could lay out, even diving toward the line for that one, that even if it got behind her, it would just be pretty close to her. But man, I thought that may have hit the line.
No review. 2-2. Outside for a ball.
Missouri has used both of their reviews, so they don't have one left.
Payoff is sent into center, and gliding back to make the play is Sierra Sacco, 1 away.
So that's the thing with the reviews and the challenges. Even if you are quote unquote right, successful with your review, you don't get to keep it. You just have the 2, and then the umpires late in the game in the 6th and 7th inning can take it upon themselves to do an umpire-initiated review.
Well, and that's what I thought might come from Emerus Addison, the home plate umpire, who had what I thought to be a really good angle after Chelsea Clark made the foul ball call. But nonetheless, called foul, and 1 down now as Shantice Phillips digs in with nobody on.
But also, if it's called foul, you can't review it.
You're right.
So there we go.
Off the end of the bat, rolled to short, and it bounces out of the glove of Riley Hull. And Shantice Phillips is safe at first base.
I'm not sure happened there with Hull. She goes down to try to catch that somewhat low throw and just can't come away with it. Another error for Mississippi State.
Three errors in the game for Mississippi State. And the one in the first inning was the most costly. Got them down 2-0. And they have trailed ever since. The 1-0 to Kaylee Langer.
Yeah, and it's uncharacteristic with the Mississippi State team that has played really well this year. I mean, you look at, Matt, their batting average and their fielding percentage in SEC play from last year to this year. There is a big jump in fielding percentage in those games, a big jump in batting average. So offensively and defensively, they've taken a step forward, but I just don't feel like we're seeing that same team here show up in game one.
Langer rolls it to Wesley, 2 down. As Shantice Phillips moves into scoring position as the lineup will turn over for Missouri.
The shortstop, number 3, Jenna Laird.
One 100th pitch of the day from Wesley.
Lefties for Missouri have really wanted nothing to do with that curveball right to that spot over and over again. And hardly any of them have even attempted to swing at it. A lot of takes with that pitch. Again, if she could have hit that spot back-to-back times, I think she would have gotten the second strike to Jenna Laird. Instead, it was a little bit low, and that's why those 1-1 counts are so influential in an at-bat and in a game. You're either going to get ahead 1-2, a ball's going to get put in play, or you're going to fall behind 2-1.
2-1, fly ball, shallow center field. Maybe some miscommunication, and it drops for a base hit. And it's 4-0 Tigers as Phillips scores from second.
Just another mistake by Mississippi State. I mean, that's all that this is. Remember, all new faces, 2 middle infielders who are freshmen who are both going for it, both calling it, and a lack of communication and a lack of taking priority with Kylie Edwards and also the center fielder, Sierra Sacco. She should have been calling that ball. Outfielder has priority over the middle infielders. It drops in between them. Another run scores for Missouri.
Edwards and Hawkins, freshman middle infielders, and of course Sacco, first-year transfer from Louisiana Tech. That not an error, of course, but the 3 errors tonight by Mississippi State ties the season high. And then that little mishap in center field passes the bat to Alex Honnold.
There's a big jump in both their batting average and their fielding percentage from last year. And not seeing it tonight, but I mean, look at their fielding percentage go from 956 to 968, and then 80-point jump in their batting average. This is in SEC play. It's why they're in the middle of the pack in SEC standings. But a night like tonight, 3 hits, 3 errors, it's why they're losing.
And Missouri just applying pressure. We haven't seen any big hits from Missouri tonight, but they've applied pressure by putting the ball in play and utilizing great base running. Saw Jenna Laird last inning go first to third. She eventually came around to score, and just on that double by Jenna Laird, Shantice Phillips going from second to home. 1-2 to Alex Honnold. Line drive right field, and it will tail foul.
Yeah, it's so nice to run bases as a base runner with 2 outs because you don't have to wait to see if the ball is going to get caught. You don't have to wait to see anything. Ball is put in play with 2 outs, and you are going. And that's why Phillips was able to score. And Jenna Laird with good hustle to get herself to second base. Her speed has come through a couple of different times in this game.
Laird with a pair of hits and a run batted in tonight. The 1-2. On the ground to Hawkins, and the scoop is in time to Hull. So Mississippi State trails by 4. Innings of work has been masterful with the ball in her hand tonight. And we saw a lot of quick outs early. First time through the lineup for Mississippi State, no strikeouts. All of her 5 strikeouts have come second or third time through the order. And now takes on 4, 5, and 6. Blaine, Wesolowski, and Cook, the do-ups this inning for Mississippi State. Missouri 22-0 this year when leading after 6 innings, and all 3 of their SEC series wins have come at home. Nearly 2,400 on hand tonight in Columbia.
And that 66 pitch count for Lauren Krings entering the 7th inning is just something you don't see a lot, with hitters being so good, working the count, having such good eyes, and showing so much patience at the plate.
Third time up for Jessie Blaine. Flew out to right field, struck out looking. Batting a career high .349 coming into the weekend.
And you know, too, that you're likely to see Lauren Krings again in this series. This is not just going to be a one and done for Krings. She'll likely start Game 3 on Monday night for Mic'd Up Monday, which will be really fun to hear Larissa Anderson mic'd up and talking to Krings or Sierra Harrison or McCann or...
Ball in the dirt. That was kicked by Jessie Blaine, and Crenshaw looked right back at the home plate umpire, Emerus Addison, and he makes the out call, 1 away.
Yeah, an unfortunate chain of events there on the changeup. It was a check swing. That check swing ended up being like a swinging bunt. That ball, did it hit the ground and then move into her bat? And then ended up, she ran into it when she was out of the box. I don't even know how she made contact with that pitch.
It was
at
like
all.
a cricket swing.
Yeah, it was. You're right.
Crenshaw was all over it, as she has been all night. And now Ella Wesolowski, with the bases empty, takes the first pitch swing.
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy play there with making contact with that and then running into the ball.
Oh, 1. Double dribbler to Hay. 2 down. She is back. With the bases clear, it is Paige Cook.
Usually Lauren Krings throws her changeup coming into this game just 20% of the time. I feel like she's thrown it much more in this game against these hitters. Really mixed tonight.
Cook has produced 1 of just 3 Mississippi hits tonight. One and 2.
Miss Emily Crane in attendance, Mizzou alum.
On her 76th pitch, Krings 1 strike away.
It's a night like tonight when you're Lauren Krings that You just love pitching.
She's
Love
faced
being out there.
23 batters, Amanda.
You just feel like you've been in control from start to finish. Sometimes, Matt, as you know, especially in SEC conference games, it can just feel like a grind, throwing 100 or 150 pitches and trying to get the win in a different way. But it's just been pretty easy breezy for Krings.
And so often this season, as you referenced much earlier, Larissa Anderson will use her bullpen. And in these spots, we've often seen Taylor Pinnell, the SEC and national leader, with 10 saves. But this is Lauren Krings' game, and it has been from the start. She has been in control. The 2-2 to Paige Cook.
And she's actually, Krings has had the most complete games on staff. Sierra Harrison has 4, Krings has 7. This would be her first shutout of the season for Krings.
And again, Cook down to her final strike. Flair into right field, charging in to make the play is Kaylee Langer, and Missouri takes game 1 with their